Before I get around to sparking this sizable smoke from diesel cigars, I might as well touch upon a topic that gets brought up fairly regularly in the comments section over at Claro. The topic pertains to cigar ring gauges and whether or not a fatter cigar influences the cigar flavor profile being detected, as well as strength and intensity. Forever the tobacco nerd that I am, I took it upon myself to do quite a bit of research and came up with a very straightforward answer. Yes, it does influence flavor and intensity. Sort of. Maybe. Not always. It's complicated. While some people may feel that a larger ring gauge cigar may be a bit stronger or bolder in flavor than a smaller vitola, they aren't always that far off, actually, based purely upon the fact that, well, there's just a ton more tobacco in a 60 ring gauge plus cigar. The average vitola, that is smaller in ring gauge, under 60, typically contains 4 leaves all told, whereas something that is in my hand contains upwards of 6 to 8 leaves. Furthermore, larger ring gauge cigars, not always, but sometimes will contain not 1, but 2 binders inside, sometimes from different regions of the world. Combine that with more long filler inside and more wrapper on the outside to contain the entire circumference of the cigar, and you have yourself just a whole lot more of everything. This is further emphasized by the way in which a larger ring gauge cigar combusts. As the foot burns, it can get really hot on you. So if you're not careful and you're puffing too hard, you really can get some very rich, very strong, spicy, and sometimes very charry flavors out of the cigar, which isn't always a good thing. This is why it is so important to smoke slowly and maintain a sizable ash for insulation purposes. How you cut and light your cigar can also influence the way in which it tastes and the intensity found within that tobacco strain. If you've already got a spicier Corojo and you go ahead and cut it aggressively and you've got a very fluid draw off a fatter ring gauge smoke and are chiefing away, it's going to get pretty damn hot on you pretty quickly, and that's going to definitely affect it. The same can be said for how you light the cigar. If you aggressively torch that foot and it's a big foot, then you may get some char right off the bat. It may overheat on you. Hell, it may even crack on you. It got so damn hot. This is why a good rule of thumb for larger ring gauge cigars is to punch it first. See if smoke production is good. If so, stick with the punch or maybe even a V-cut. This will help limit the airflow within the cigar and hopefully prevent it from getting too hot on you or too intense in its flavor profile. And finally, there is the topic of the blends that we stock at Claro, which instead of going through each and every one of them, because we do have quite a few at this point, we'll just leave a list below in the description for you to peruse at your leisure and let you click through and decide what suits you. Trust me when I say that there's a little bit of something for everyone down there, and if you've never had a larger ring gauge cigar and are thinking about trying one out, now might be your time to get around to it, because now, if you got 2+ hours to spend, this isn't a bad way to do it. So if you've got 2+ hours to spare and are looking for a stogie, this isn't a bad way to spend an afternoon or an evening or potentially half a day if you're smoking something from JFR like the Lunatic. That's a big stogie. I'm telling you, man. 80 ring gauge, baby.